Most women easily get emotionally attached in relationships, which can be very detrimental to their well-being. In a romantic relationship settings, most women get ignored by their partners for mostly selfish reasons.
The psychology of ignoring a woman. Does ignoring a woman make her want you more, or does it make her forget about you? 99% of the time, it makes her want you more, and here's why. Women equate longing with love. I'll say it again. Women equate longing with love. When she's waiting for your text, when she's anticipating your next date, those are the moments that she begins to fall in love with you. Same with us, right? We hate when a woman cancels on us, but part of us wants her more in that moment. So there's a saying, give her the gift of missing you. Give her the gift of fighting for your attention, because the more she feels like she's winning you over, the more she feels like you're slowly falling for her, the more she falls for you. How do you do it? Well, I've got a longer video at scramblervideo.com where I walk you step by step exactly how to create this chase in her.
Here's why ignoring women makes them like you immediately. Number one, it destroys undeserved ego. A lot of women have undeserved ego, meaning they believe that men were put on this earth to worship the ground they walk on. A lot of men bend over backwards for women who have not done anything to improve their lives. So when you ignore a woman, she's like, why aren't you acting like the other guys? And number two, you separate yourself from most men. Most men are willing to do anything to get some box. When you ignore a woman, you stop acting like a thirsty, needy man. And women love men who are not thirsty and not needy. And number three, this gives you pre-selection. Women love a man that is desired by other women. So when you ignore them, you tell them, you ain't the best I can do. So if you don't act right, I'm gonna go where I'm loved and liked. I don't have to deal with you.
Some men are naturally emotionally unavailable due to toxic masculinity and conditioning by the society. You have to take precaution, be cautious, and stay away from such men. They will end up stealing your peace of mind away from you and destroying you mentally and emotionally, because to most of them out there, they don't understand what it means to have emotions and be emotionally attached to someone.
Bro, you're detached. You're emotionally vacant and void. And that's why people in your life are so frustrated, because you show no emotion. You show no interest. See, don't confuse stoicism with disconnection. Don't confuse stoicism with dissociation. Brother, how do I know? Because I've been there. I was one of the most disconnected guys you'd ever meet in your entire life. The emotional void, walking around as a ghost, just feeling empty and hollow. My whole life reflected that. I wasn't connected to anything in my life. I wasn't connected to my greatness. I wasn't connected to people in my life. I wasn't connected to the love of God. I wasn't connected to anything. I was disconnected because I learned to use disconnection as a way to survive. I learned to use disconnection as a coping mechanism. I learned to use disconnection as a way to try to feel safe. And you know what I did? I hid. I hid in areas of my life, just like you hide in work, just like you hide in certain areas of your life. And that's something that we do. Why do we do it? Because we go to the places where we receive the validation. We go to the places where we can extract worth and value. And if that's been work, if that's been other extracurricular activities, if that's been hidden vices and self-destructive behaviors and patterns in your life that are destroying you, literally destroying your life, then that's where you go to feel connected. For a lot of years of my life, I went to things in my life that were self-destructive because I would have rather felt something than feel nothing. It's the void. It's the vacancy. You're the ghost in the home. It's time for you to get reconnected. It's time for you to get reinvigorated. It's time for you to connect to something greater, to connect to the voice of God, to connect to the Holy Spirit, to connect to your wife, to connect to your children, to connect with your greatness, to connect with the mission and the vision that you're building. It's time to get reconnected.
Hey fam, how you all doing? Hope you all are having a great day wherever you are. Please take a moment to like and subscribe this video. Support this video by giving it your like. Thank you. Today's video is on the act of detachment saves women. Women need to practice how to detach themselves emotionally from men, because men are using the ignoring tactic to destroy their mental health and well-being. So women need to step up. They need to understand this game that men are playing and use their game to win and have peace for themselves. You have to learn how to pull back your energy. You have to learn how to take back those things you've been giving to a man that he does not deserve. Men hate rejection. Men always come back. They will come back. The moment they notice that you are no longer interested as they thought you were. And I don't advise anyone to be emotionally attached to any human being, because human beings can be very fishy, honestly, be it a man or a woman. When people understand that you are attached to them, that is you giving them power to deal with you however way they deem fit, however way they wish to deal with you. So you have to learn how to be your own person with your own emotions in control, because if you lose control of your emotions, you're going to be a shattered human being. People are going to work on you, people are going to use you anyhow. So what happens when a woman gets ignored by a man? What is her thought process like?
When you ignore a woman, it tells her one thing.
There's actually three possible outcomes to this and not one, as he says. So number one, if you ignore a woman who is self-loving, confident, at peace with herself, she's gonna think, oh, interesting, I thought he was interested, but obviously I was wrong, I'm gonna move on. If she's avoidant, she's gonna think, I knew it, nobody's ever gonna stick around, nobody's ever gonna love me, I'm gonna be upset and ignore him back. And if she has an anxious attachment style, is very wounded and unhealed, she's gonna feel like, I gotta fix this, I gotta pursue him, I gotta make him love me to prove to myself that I'm worthy of love. I'm gonna go nuts, I'm gonna go crazy, I'm gonna overgive, overlove, overdo, overshare, and overcontact him forever.
Okay, women are too emotional, and that's why they end up sad and losing in a lot of these relationships and leaving empty-handed and feeling betrayed because they gave their all. Of course you're going to feel betrayed if you gave your all to somebody who was 25 years old. You know, they didn't give their all to you, so why would you give your all to them? You know, I could understand if this person had gave you a kidney or something like that, but no, they didn't. So why are you doing it? Why are women doing this? Like, you don't give your all to somebody. You're the prize. If they want you, they're gonna have to come chase you, get on their knee and ask you to marry them, and then is your decision if you want to marry them or not. You know, you don't become emotionally attached. This is what men will chase: a woman who's emotionally detached. They're not gonna want you if you're all over them all the time. Oh, I love you, sending 1,000 texts a day. They're always chasing that woman that don't want them. They won't even text them back. They won't even answer the calls. That's who they chase. They're not chasing you because you're too easy, you know, and you're too emotional, and you take everything personally. And if they want to do this, and that, it's a big deal because you're so in love that it's going to hurt your feelings. So every decision they make, they have to think about your feelings, and that gets old and boring. And then I just want to be free. I just want to be free. I want to make a decision without having to come home or to talk on the phone for hours about why I didn't call or text. I'm 25 years old. I just want to be free, So, no. Stop becoming emotionally attached, especially when you're young. When you get old and it's time to have kids and get married and have a baby, all that stuff, go find someone who likes you a lot, and who's going to do all of that stuff for you, who you don't have to chase. But until then, y'all stop getting emotionally attached to these guys, because they're not emotionally attached to y'all. When they come up to y'all, they want one thing. And if they don't have a place to live, they want two things: a place to live.
Many women out there are too emotional to be fault, and that can be very detrimental. I already made mention of this. Whoever you are connected to emotionally can enslave you emotionally. If you invest your emotions on someone, that person can enslave you, can become a prisoner to that person. Men understand the importance of control. A lot of men out there, all they think about is how to control women. They see their relationship with women as the master and slave relationship. They feel superior because the society makes them feel that way, that they are superior. Seeing that people are kicking against the physical slave trade, master-slave kind of relationship, they've looked for an alternative. They've gone psychological. So right now, men are enslaving women with emotions. They understand that women are easily emotional. Men are also easily emotional, but men have been conditioned not to show their emotions. But that is something that women are struggling with. So for men, they are in control of their emotions, but a lot of women struggle to control their emotions. So now men are using the emotional route to enslave women. So you have to be careful about who you give your emotional investment to. Your emotions are investments. When you pour it on people, you're investing onto those people. So be careful who you invest your emotions on, because they can use your emotions to destroy you. Not all relationships deserve emotional connection. Not all relationships deserve emotional investment. Some relationships are meant to be transactional. And like I said, be sure of the partner you are in a relationship with. Make sure the person is also reciprocating the emotions you are investing in that relationship.
Listen, there is something so powerful that happens in detachment. When you detach from someone, they feel that detachment. And once they feel that detachment, quite naturally, they're going to come back around. Not because they necessarily love you, but they feel the slip of their control over you. So sometimes we can get caught up in the joy of not feeling the same pain we felt before and allow that to be the pinnacle of our freedom, our detachment. No. You have to prepare for what will happen. That detachment will draw them back in. But if when you detach, you don't just simply enjoy that freedom, you use that freedom to move into purpose and to focus on building you and loving you and allowing those people who are loving you to completely fill your heart and your space. When that person you detach from comes back around, there will be no room for vulnerability. There will be no room for you to reattach. The issue is when you do reattach, it is oftentimes more difficult to break the second attachment than it was the first. Detach and use that freedom to move forward, not remain still.
The thing about emotionally detaching from someone, especially after a situation where they've hurt you, is that you do not give them that power, right? A power that you have placed on them. You put them on the pedestal. You thought that, oh my God, they're gentle, they're kind, they're sweet, they're understanding. And the moment that they hurt you, it becomes so difficult to reconcile it in your head. It becomes difficult for you to understand, how could they do this to me? This is somebody I love, that I care for. This is a colleague. They've broken my boundaries. You have to let go of the version of them that you have created in your mind so that you can move accordingly when they hurt you. Eventually, you're going to need to stop forgiving and actually normalize them, make them a normal human being who has mistakes, who makes mistakes, who does all those kinds of things. But you need to distance yourself from the attachment.
My spiritual teacher used to say the people who have mastered law of detachment are like lotus flower. Lotus is the symbol of detachment, and detached people know how to emerge beautifully, how to bloom, how to blossom even amidst all the chaos of life, even amidst all the dirtiness, all the mud. So I'm gonna give you 3 traits of people who have mastered law of detachment. Number 1 is no emotional entanglement. Babe, those who have mastered law of detachment, they don't rely on other people. They are not looking for validation. They are not looking for others' approval. They know who they are and they love who they are. They know people will betray. They know people will cheat. That is a part of human nature. So that is why they are not emotionally entangling themselves to other people. And finally, they keep their interactions at surface level. They don't overshare. They don't overindulge. They don't over-explain. They maintain their privacy. They keep the interactions at surface level. Number 2, they know the power of letting go. So they don't hold on to anything. They don't dwell too much on past. They don't think and expect too much from their future. They forget and forgive. They know everything is unfolding exactly the way it is supposed to be. So they are not running after anything. They don't force anything. They don't control anything because they know the things that are meant for them will never pass by. And finally, they prioritize self-sufficiency. They spend time to reflect, to recharge, and to connect with their inner self. They invest their energy on self-improvement. They don't waste their energy on other people. They invest their energy in the activities that foster improvement and fulfillment. And finally, they try to understand their own emotions, what are their own triggers, and develop high level of emotional intelligence. So babe, if you want to master law of detachment, start taking small steps. Don't rely on other people. Start letting go the things that you cannot control. And finally, start prioritizing self-love, self-sufficiency. Babe, you are enough. You don't need anything outside of you to feel fulfilled, to feel happy, to feel loved. Follow me for more content on law of detachment.
Lack of emotional reciprocity is what some men use to control women. They intentionally ignore women. They intentionally withhold their emotional investment from the women they are dating or the woman in their life. But they love to receive from those women. And they use that to control those women. When the woman decides to invest her emotions in the man and that man is not reciprocating it, she is the one losing. The man is the one taking from her. She will be depreciating. She will be the one complaining, always angry, feeling cheated and all that. How do you gain control of that situation? How do you save yourself from such a situation? You detach. You take back your emotions. You cut off emotional connection because that man does not deserve it. He might be intentionally doing that to control you, to lock you, to put you on lockdown so that he feels like he owns you. Men love to own women. Men love to own women as properties. So like I said, before it used to be physically out there, oh, I just bought a slave, or in the name of marriage and relationship. Right now, people are kicking against that. So they've gone the psychological part. They want to hold you down emotionally and they play all those stupid games. So they will tie you down to themselves. So you need to wake up and remove all your investment from their emotional bank because they do not deserve it. So take total control of yourself, of your emotions, by detaching. It sounds so easy for me to sit here and say detach, but in reality it's not that easy for you to detach from someone you've invested your emotions on, someone that you are emotionally connected to. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to take time. There are ways to go about that, and I have a video coming from this very popular TikToker. This is what she has to say.
How to turn off those emotions. Now, a lot of people ask me, how do you do that? So I'm gonna give y'all some tips. Y'all want tips? I'm gonna give y'all tips because I said, oh, I just do. I don't really care. I don't care because I don't care. I'm gonna tell you how not to care because a lot of people have trouble not caring. So you think after you've been hurt enough, you can turn them off? Yeah. I mean, of course, after you've realized that you are always giving more and receiving less, it's easy to cut something off because you're getting cheated. You know what I mean? You have to think of it as a business. This is my number one tip. My number one tip on how to cut off emotion is to think of it like a business. Okay? If your love and your energy were money, who would be cheated? Who's paying more? Who's paying more, you or him? Think of emotions and energy like money. So if you're giving him more emotions, if you're putting more energy into him, if you're putting more effort into the relationship, if you are having more emotions and feelings toward a person than they are about you, you are getting cheated and robbed, basically. Okay? So that's one way to turn it off. If you were going to work and you weren't getting your paycheck, wouldn't you say something? Wouldn't you quit? Wouldn't you stop showing up? Yes, you would. So you have to think of this as business. That is the number one way to turn off your emotion. Okay? Because at work, you're not emotionally attached to that job. If it's paying, you're staying. If it ain't paying, you're leaving. Okay? Are y'all still here? Can y'all put emoji? Okay. So think of it as a business only. Okay? Throw anything away about falling in love. Okay? You grow in love. Throw all that away. They prove themselves each day. So if you look at love a little bit different, as in growth rather than falling, you will prosper. You will allow that person to continue to prove themselves on a daily basis and not just accept some words as your payment when gestures and actions are not being done. Okay? So until you see action, you do not respond. That's how you turn off those emotions. If someone says, oh, I'm going to pay all your bills, y'all keep putting emojis if y'all are here, please, so I know that I'm still alive. If y'all are saying, oh, you know, I don't feel like he loves me, then follow your intuition. Okay? He doesn't deserve what you're giving him because A, he probably don't want it. B, probably never asked for you to love him, but you know, that's what you wanted for yourself. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't even ask the other person that they're with, hey, do you think I'm the one? Do you think we're in love? Do you think this is going anywhere? They just automatically assume that they're in love and A, B, C, and D. But half the time, a lot of men are just using you as a place filler. And then when you get upset and upset turns into anger and anger turns into, you know, whatever, then you're like, well, I gave so much, but no one asked you to. You know, so you also have to take full responsibility of the emotion and the energy that you're paying out. You have to be responsible in what you're paying someone. Okay. So if you don't like going to your purse to pay people, then stop paying emotions. Stop paying, you know, more than they're giving to you. This is how you shut them off. They're not all the way off, but they're very observant and they only turn on when they're activated by the action of the other person. You see, so a lot of people are on automatic pilot. A lot of people are doing more than they need to be doing in relationships and wondering why they're not happy or getting the good end of the deal. So you must use energy and emotion as you would money. That's how you can do it. Okay. A lot of women mistake sex for love. They never ask the men, what does a sexual relationship with me mean? Sex does not equal love for men at all. Okay. In fact, the more you hold off, the more that they will like you. Okay. So, it's just true. The more you hold off, the longer you hold off, the more you make them do to earn it, the more that they like you. The less you make them do, the less that they like you. Okay. So make sure you understand that. I don't care who told you what. This is the truth. And when you make someone work for something, you don't feel bad when it's time to pay them because they've earned it. Okay. You don't feel stupid afterward either. Because most likely they're not going to walk away if they've invested a lot of time and energy into you. You see? So make sure when you go into any type of relationship, you think of it only as a business where you give and receive fair amounts or you are needing more because you should be benefiting as a woman. So if you're not getting more emotion from the man, if you're not getting more attention, if you're not getting more, you know, special treatment, then you're paying him to be with you emotionally, you know, sexually, energetically. You're paying him. It's the same thing. That's why money is the physical representation of what you're doing. Okay. Money is the physical representation of your emotions and how he feels about you. You're not going to pay him to go on a date with you. You're not going to pay him to go anywhere with you. He is the pursuer. So he puts in the work and the energy. That's why you get the money. Okay. So if you look at this on an energetic level, you'll understand that many women have made the mistake of paying too much attention, too much time, and too much emotion to a man who is not giving you anything. Okay. So keep that in your mind. It is a business. It is a business.
I think y'all failed to underestimate how cold a woman can actually be once she mentally detaches from a relationship. See, when she disconnects from that relationship, all hope is lost. You know, and she's never going to be that girl that you once had before. She's not going to be lovey-dovey and affectionate and doing things for you because you had that chance at one point in time and you used it and you completely wasted her time. So now you're going to get the cold version of her, the one that is not interested at all, the one that has built up resentment, and someone that just really does not care for the relationship anymore. And see, women are completely different from guys. See, mentally, they will detach from the relationship probably 6 months before the relationship actually ends. And they will do that and get tired of having to tell you time after time of how they should be treated and what to be treated. And you see, a woman will treat you how she wants to be treated, and then she will treat you how you treat her. So tread carefully when you are with that woman, because I can promise you, she will match your disrespect and she will match your energy, and you will not like it. But y'all stay safe out there, man.
Ladies, you should always put yourself first. Trust in yourself alone. Pamper yourself. Protect your energy. Be in control of your emotions so that men don't use you as a caricature. Men don't treat you anyhow. If you would love to know how men feel about confident women, click this video here. And I will see you guys in the next one. Please take a moment to like and subscribe. Bye-bye.